Thank you and welcome to everyone. Today is Thursday, July 31st, and this is the Rochester Board of Education business meeting. So we're going to open up this meeting. I first and foremost want to open it by officially welcoming Dr. Rosser. We know you started here on July 1st, but this is your official board business meeting with the Board of Education and the Rochester City School District. So we just want to take a moment to celebrate this official meeting. We're kicking off this evening to do the business of the board. So welcome once again.
Thank you very much. It's so good to be here.
Thank you. And I also want to take a moment to recognize our new Student Leadership Congress President, Mr. Elijah Espada. I hope I said your name right. Elijah is a senior at Edison High School, so represent Edison. I think we've got some Edison fans. I hear some woos in the back there. And so we're very excited to have you join us this evening. And we look forward to the work we'll be able to do with you, Elijah. Let's start putting you to work right away. If you don't mind, I'd love to ask you to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening.
Of course, it'd be my pleasure. Step two, right? All right. Oh, okay, my bad, y'all. First meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to turn the mic over to Board Clerk Nguyen, who will share the upcoming events from the Board of Education.
Thank you, President Simmons. Good evening, commissioners, district staff, families, students, community members. For the month of August, the board will begin their business on Tuesday, August 12th at 5:30 p.m., holding the annual district-wide safety plan public hearing, followed by a public hearing for the opening of Virtus Charter Middle School. The board will then convene into a work session at 6 p.m. On Saturday, August 23rd, we are proudly going to be hosting the last and final community conversation with Superintendent Rosser. This event will begin at 11 a.m. at School 33, which is now known as Dr. Iris Bannister. The board will conclude its business on Thursday, August 28th at 6 p.m. with its monthly business meeting, and all meetings, unless otherwise noted, will be held here at 131 West Broad Street in Conference Room 3A3B. As a reminder, individuals may register to speak by contacting the board by noon on the day of the meeting, and you may call 262-8525 or email boardofelducation@rcsdk12.org. Please be reminded that no unregistered speaker may address the board, and no individual may speak on behalf of a registered speaker. The following information must be included at the time of registration: name, telephone number, home address, affiliation, and the topic on which you wish to speak. Individuals who do not reside in the city of Rochester do not have the pleasure of speaking at meetings except when an exception is granted by the chair of the meeting in which you are requesting to speak. And finally, each registered speaker may address the board for up to 3 minutes. Speakers utilizing translation, including American Sign Language, may address the board for up to 6 minutes, 3 for the speaker, and then the remaining minutes would be for translation. You may view the board's calendar at rcsdk12.org/BOE calendar. Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk Nguyen. I do not have my glasses this evening, so I can see things right in front of me, but if it's further away, we're going to be in trouble. I want to just take a moment to acknowledge that we have a quorum on the dais, and then we do have representation online. I wanted to make sure I acknowledge board commissioners online. I know that Commissioner Elliott was joining us online.
Yes, so at this time, Commissioner Elliott is not online. However, she did call to notify that she's having some connectivity issues in her neighborhood, and so we'll be on as soon as possible.
Okay, do we have any other commissioners online at this time?
There are no other commissioners online at this
Okay,
time.
thank you for that clarity. And so I'm going to move forward into the speakers portion of this evening. And our speaker listed at this time is Mr. Angelo Palmerini, who will join us now. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good evening, President Simmons, Vice President Malloy, Commissioner, Superintendent Rosser. I'm Angelo Palmerini, President of Bente Local 2419, representing over 1,200 support staff who work at the Rochester City School District. I'm here tonight to make sure the board and the public are aware of the complete mess the district has made in implementing the new Oracle management system. RCSD has spent $46.6 million on consultants to implement Oracle Fusion and 4 years planning this implementation. DLT Solutions, Cherry Road Technologies, Nova Modis, Attain Consulting Group. They were hired to provide the resources, services, and support for a successful system implementation. They supposedly all had specialized experience in implementing ERP. Again, all for a successful system implementation. Emails from the district mentioned some challenges surrounding Oracle. Challenges are glitches in vacation and sick time, errors in pay rates. What employees have encountered during this implementation rise above some challenges. Here's just a sample of the problems. Employees encountered delayed direct deposits or no direct deposits at all, although test deposits were supposedly done. Employees entering their time in Oracle and their time either disappears or never makes it to processing. We were told that employees can come down to central office and receive a live check if they need one. I ask you, do you need your paycheck when you are owed one and are expected to pay your bills from it? When people tried to get checks, they were told they were mailed. Days passed. We were then told that they were waiting to be mailed from Georgia. Section 191 of the labor law requires the timely payment in full of all hours worked. RCSD is in direct violation of this provision. After a week of waiting, I personally went down to central office with 4 employees who were waiting for paper checks. Still excuses. After 4 hours, they were all received their checks. This was with the first payroll in Oracle. For the second payroll, Bente Vice President Jessica Reinbold went to the central office with more than 10 Bente members who did not get paid. After more than 12 hours, only 3 members received paychecks. All while the district had school safety officers on standby at the payroll department to ensure the payroll department's safety, when those officers were among many who did not receive paychecks themselves. Funds for retirement accounts were deducted from employees' pay, but never deposited to their retirement accounts. Oracle was set up so that contributions to your New York State retirement system were made post-tax instead of pre-tax. Again, these are only some examples of issues we have experienced. I have more, but I can only fit so much in 3 minutes. We get incorrect, contradictory, and piecemeal information from the district. I conclude tonight asking that the district meet with the unions in person weekly at a minimum to be transparent about the problems we are facing and to give us specifics as to what is being done and how long it will take to fix them. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no other speakers listed for this evening. And we're moving into the advisory council reports. There are none listed at this time. Elijah, did you want to have any, share any remarks? I know that you'll probably share reports next month or what have you. It's the summer, but I just want to give you an opportunity to say hello.
Well, to reintroduce myself, my name is Elijah Spada, I go to SN Tech. This summer, I don't have any reports. I will be releasing one as an introductory report this August. Just, stating myself, who I am, what are my beliefs, and what I plan to do as the student rep for RCSD, the SOC president, and a few other committees I'm a part of that are big to this community. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. We look forward to that. And as I move forward, it looks like the board may need to, at this time, convene into executive session to discuss collective negotiations, matters leading to the appointment, promotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of particular persons, student matters which are confidential by federal or state law, and pending or current litigation with the general counsel. Moving to enter executive session at this time.
So moved.
Moved by Vice President Malloy, seconded by Commissioner Griffin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are going to enter into executive session at this time. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. It is 7:09, and the board has reconvened from executive session. Again, today is Thursday, July 31st, and this is our Board of Education business meeting. As we move forward on our agenda, we do not have any board reports at this time. Actually, I stand corrected. We do have a July financial report. And so we're going to ask that our Acting Chief Financial Officer, Derek Blair, join us at the podium to share this particular report.
Good evening, Vice President Malloy, Commissioner Simmons, and the remaining board members. The attached July financial report package provides an unaudited snapshot of the district's financial performance and budget activity for the fiscal year up to June 30th, 2025. Here's some of the key highlights. Section A is our cash flow and general ledger summary. The district closed June with a cash balance of $408 million, an increase of $48 million from the prior fiscal year. Receipts totaled $49.9 million, down from the previous year due to some timing of our aid. Disbursements totaled $91.5 million, slightly lower than the same period last year. The cash flow projection indicates a strong financial position. Our revenue summary is Section 8, pages 8 through 9. General fund revenue projections increased by $3 million last month, driven by investment earnings of $1.4 million, self-insurance stop-loss reimbursement of $1.7 million. Special aid increased by $1.3 million due to the listing of grants down a little farther. And the total projected revenue, including fund balance, is $1,099 million, a 2.6% increase from the adopted budget. Section C shows our appropriations by function. They're on pages, up a little bit. The appropriations by function, spending is tracking within expectations across all funds. General fund has $57.1 million, or 6.1% of budget available. Special aid fund has $19.2 million, or 14% available. School food service has $2.7 million, or 10%, or 10.4% available. Section D is our budget adjustments. These entries can be found on pages 14 through 36. The monthly adjustments reflect reallocations within and across departments and programs. Adjustments were routine and necessary for accurate reporting. Section E is our capital project reports. These can be found on pages 37 through 50. $259 million in total capital project budgets are active across all programs. Key activities includes $5.8 million commitment to the Oracle ERP implementation, and several projects closed or moved to contingency, reflecting end of project reconciliation. And Section F on page 51 is our charter school enrollment, and there's no significant variances from prior trends. And that concludes the financial report ending on June 30th, 2025. Any questions?
Thank you, Chief Blair. I'm going to open the dais at this time. Are there any commissioners that have questions or concerns? Commissioner Santiago?
I'm not sure if the superintendent is going to share this in his report, but if you can give the community a quick update on our financial funding, I know this is something that the community has been wondering about, and there has been recent updates on that funding, so I'm wondering, I don't know if he has it in his presentation, so I don't want to overstep.
Yeah,
but-
we'll defer to the superintendent when he returns, and at this point in time, is there any questions regarding the financial report presented?
I have a
The
question.
contents of it. Commissioner Elliott? Thank you.
So it seems as if we have a pretty healthy fund balance, and I would just caution the district, just because we have the money and that the funding was released from the federal government, we still have 3 years of this administration, and we don't know what the future is going to look like. We have some kind of framework based on some of the documents that have come out, but I just don't want us to get comfortable. That was part of my concern about even with us giving $7 million to the union, because we just don't know what that may, what it may mean in the future. We have to be very cognizant of our spending. I would think the only thing that we really, and I know that we're going to have to do some spending, but if we are going to, if there's going to be any prioritization, if we have that kind of a fund balance, we may also want to look at if there's any debt that we need to get paid off, that we look at getting our debt paid off. We have a pretty significant, in my mind, debt line, and I'd be interested in us considering paying off some of the debt, because we have a great opportunity here. We're not having to go to the state to ask for money. We've been blessed. God has blessed us. And so I think it's important that we be cognizant of that and not think just because we got it, that it really is there to spend in a liberal way. It is not there to spend in a liberal way. We have to be really conservative with the finances that we have. So that's that statement. You did mention in your report, and I don't know if Dr. Ross is going to mention this in a report, but I would like to have an update on Oracle. So I don't know if that's a part of the report, but I am asking about that. That's something I'll be asking about until it is, because I know that there's still some issues there. And so I'd like to know more about Oracle. So I don't know if the chief financial officer can respond to that,
So
or
it's an agenda
or
item.
superintendent.
Sorry to interrupt you. That is an agenda item for this evening. That is something that I asked to be standing. But that is on the agenda to come up later on this evening, Commissioner
All right,
Elliott.
thank you.
Did you have any other questions
No,
from
thank you.
any commissioners? Thank you for this report, Chief Blair.
Thank you.
At this time, there will be no president's report submitted. I'll have a written report for as we convene in August with updates from this month as well as the month of August. So at this time, I'm going to move forward with, you ready? Dr.
President Simmons.
Hold on one second. We're going to just take a brief moment here. We're going to make a brief pivot on the agenda really quickly.
Excuse
to
me,
get
President
some
Simmons,
things
before you do
together.
that,
Yes.
you didn't close out the financial report. You need a motion to accept the
You
report?
know what, that might help, thank you. So motion to close or accept the financial, where is the language there? The unaudited July 2025 financial report.
Motion.
Moved by Vice President Malloy, seconded by Commissioner Santiago. All in favor? Aye. Okay, the financial report has been approved. I'm going to, let's get move into the academic resolutions, and then we'll pivot back up into the superintendent's report. We do have some technical difficulties taking place, so that's the reason for the pivot, and we'll come back. But let me just look at my agenda. Looking at number 9, academic resolutions, and that would be resolution number 3 through 70. Entertaining a motion for resolutions 3 through 70 at this time. Moved by Vice President Malloy, seconded by Commissioner Griffin. I want to open up the dais for questions or concerns for under academic resolutions number 3 through 70. Commissioner LeBron.
I'm sorry, I think we actually have to vote to change the agenda because we're changing the agenda and flipping it.
Okay.
So I think we have to
Oh, you're
vote
right.
to change the agenda, to move the items, and then open the floor up to discuss the items.
You're right on that technicality, but the beautiful thing is Dr. Rosser's technical difficulties done. But thank you for pointing that out. I'll be sure to do that next time, but we'll go back and keep the agenda as is with the superintendent's July report at this time. Thank you.
Do we need to officially
Thank you.
withdraw the motion?
Oh, did I? Oh, because we were doing it, yeah. Oh, Lord. Man, I was doing so good. All right, so entertaining a motion to withdraw the motion to vote on academic resolutions 3 through 70 at this time.
So moved.
Moved by Vice President Malloy, seconded by Commissioner Griffin. All in favor of withdrawing that motion? Aye. Thank you. And back to the agenda as planned with the superintendent's July report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and my apologies for my technical difficulties up here. My computer wanted to decide that it wanted to restart. So I thank the commissioners very much, and I thank the community for being a part of this very important meeting and hearing my report for the month of July. As the new superintendent who's been in place since July 1st, there's a number of things I would like to bring to the attention of commissioners as well as our community at large. Next slide, please. As I mentioned during our workshop meeting on the 8th of July, I have put together a 1-year plan, a 100-day plan that really focuses on the area of strategic alignment, teaching and learning, organizational culture and health, organizational effectiveness, and engaging school, home, community, stakeholders, and building trust collaboration to elevate a student-centered culture. I want to share that there's been a number of things that myself as well as the team have already engaged in as it relates to putting things in motion to be able to execute the objectives of this plan. Working with our communications department, we have put together what we call the Dr. Eric J. Rosser 100-Day Plan Tracker, which can be found online so that our community is aware of the various progress we are making to be able to address the action steps that are outlined in the 100-day plan. I want to shift to summer learning to give an update on summer learning. There's a number of things that are happening, of course, throughout the district that are providing our youngsters with greater opportunities to understand the academic needs that they have. We are also working very closely with a number of different community partners to provide them with opportunities to access instruction as well as enrichment activities, and that those programs are going on and will be continuing throughout the summer. I do want to highlight our transportation deadline. It's important that we as a community share with our families to best guarantee transportation on the first day of school. All changes in pickup and drop-off locations must be in by Friday, August 8th. So parents will have a little bit more than a week to make sure that they are making any changes for pickup and drop-off locations so that they're in our system no later than August 8th. This will provide an opportunity, of course, for our transportation team to be able to do what they need in order to best guarantee that our families and our children are being picked up and dropped off at the appropriate locations. Families should contact their child's school with any locations. And I just want to remind everyone that the first day of school will be Thursday, September 4th, in which we have an opportunity to change the life trajectory of our children by providing them with high-quality educational experiences, the social emotional supports that they need in order to support them maximizing their full potential. I do want to also highlight that Ms. Torres, who is a student at Pinnacle School, number 35, has been accepted to the Eastman School of Music and is the recipient of a scholarship. So can we give a round of applause? While we're giving applauses, I do also need to articulate how wonderful our communications team is, not only to our school district, but also they have been recently recognized as national honors for the NSBRA, so that they had an opportunity to receive this award a few weeks ago and sort of showcase this award based upon our social media post around various monuments throughout DC. So can we give them a round of applause as well? As we, as a school district, are really preparing for our students to come back to us on September 4th, we also want to highlight some summer hiring events. We have a hiring event taking place on August 9th at the Public Market at 9 a.m. On Main Street on August 12th at 10 a.m. Rock the Block on August 20th at the Salvation Army. For more information, please visit our website and look under careers. I do also want to highlight, and this was already articulated by our board clerk, that I will be hosting a community conversation on Saturday, August 23rd at 11 a.m. at Dr. Iris Bannister School, number 33. I hope that our community will show up to be able to learn more about who I am as an individual, my vision for our collective activity in engaging in what's in the best interest of our children, and for me also, just as importantly, to be able to hear from our community about things that they feel are important for the Rochester City School District to be able to accomplish on behalf of our children. We also will be hosting a back-to-school jam during this same event. Backpack school supplies will be given away. There will be youth activities as well as community resources made available to our families. As a part of my ongoing learning, we have already scheduled dates for what I call fireside chats, where the entire community can come out to learn about the innovative things that we're doing here in Rochester, to learn about our turnaround efforts, and for me to also hear from our community about those things that are important for the Rochester City School District to reflect as we work collaboratively to meet the needs of our children. The first fireside chat will be on September 23rd at School 54. We're in the process right now of identifying locations for additional fireside chats. Given the fact that we have a large Spanish-speaking community, we will be partnering with the BEC on November 12th to provide Spanish-speaking families the opportunity to hear from me, and just as importantly, for me to hear from them. Those dates will be November 12th as well as April 8th, 2026. Once we identify the locations, that will be published on our website and communicated throughout all of our social media mediums, as well as other correspondence to families. For the general public, January 13th, March 24th, and again, June 9th, I will be making myself available to our community. This concludes my report for July. I look forward to providing a report at the end of August, particularly articulating how we are readying ourselves and preparing ourselves to receive our children on September 4th. Concludes my superintendent report.
Thank you, Dr. Rosser. I'm going to open the dais now for questions or comments, and I'm going to start with you, Commissioner Santiago.
Yes. So with the past superintendents, we've had this conversation. I believe our parents locally has also advocated, but specifically around transportation, and I just want to bring this up before the school year starts. And also to bring you up to speed, because it is a conversation that I was having with the past few superintendents. But when it comes to transportation, about implementing a app or text chain or something like that to keep our parents updated on the ETA of their child's bus. You have a lot of frustrated parents, and I think it will also be beneficial to our principals. Sometimes our principals are stressed out about the times that the buses are getting back to the school without them knowing. And so that's a later conversation, but it is an agenda item from some of our parent groups about that transportation app or text chain. And also, when you weren't here, I asked our CFO to give a quick update to the community as far as our federal funding. The community, of course, is keeping up with the different impacts that's possible, but there has been more developments in these past few months, and so I was wondering if you can give the community an update regarding our federal funding.
Yeah, most certainly. We've been monitoring the situation of what's happening in Washington, particularly with the decision of the Trump administration to review and to evaluate the titles funding that we receive from the federal government. What they were reviewing was Title II, which supports professional learning of staff members, Title III, which supports multilingual learners, and then Title IV, which is a catch-all to support social emotional learning as well as expanded learning for our students. I am happy to share that after a lot of advocating from national groups, the Council of the Great City Schools, the Big Five, New York State, and others, that we learned late Friday that those funds will now be released to school districts. They have been held up since July 1st. So we are not anticipating any cuts to the federal funding that we were anticipating for this upcoming school year. I do need to note that while we're not anticipating any cuts for the 25-26 school year, we all must remain focused and conscientious that the actions of the federal government, which have been inconsistent, may bring about challenges for the 26-27 school year. I implore all of us to make sure that we continue to advocate, that where we can, that we're having conversations with our elected officials, particularly those at the state level and the federal level, so that they can then advocate for us here locally in Rochester.
Thank you. Yes, and having ongoing conversations at the state level around those federal dollars and maybe some additional communications that will come our way to keep us abreast. And I was excited to see the release of the funds. That's a hopeful piece, but we recognize there is potentially more to come, and so it's not time to dance, but certainly continue to be cautious and to continue to plan forward. I think I saw your finger.
Yeah, just wanted to note too, because I spoke about the title funds. So the title funds are not in jeopardy. However, we're still evaluating how the changes based upon the big beautiful bill is going to impact Medicaid and how it may impact the district's ability to seek Medicaid reimbursements. So we're still monitoring, having conversations around what that impact may be. Once I get updates, I will most certainly provide updates to our community at the August meeting.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Griffin?
Thank you, President. Thank you, President Simmons. And I just wanted to ask you, Dr. Ross, or make a comment, Dr. Ross, as far as the transportation. Prior to your your arrival to the board, I personally addressed transportation, and one of the concerns I had was the times that were changed at the schools, and if that made a difference in the transportation issues we were having. So I would, if we could find out if, I don't know how we could do or find that out, maybe surveys by the parents, but to find out if the times that have been changed in the past had an effect on the transportation problems that we're having with these kids getting to school. Because we have parents that go to school, go to work early, and now the buses are coming later. So we want to ensure that that is not a problem. If there's some way that we can somehow put out some type of survey to the teachers, to the principals, what have you, to try to survey the parents and find out if that's an issue, I would really greatly appreciate it. That is something we talked prior to.
Yeah, if I can just comment real quick. So one of the things that we're engaged in doing is really looking at chronic absenteeism, and there will be a survey that we're in the process of putting together that will go out to our entire community that will give us more of an understanding, specifically from our parents, what are the issues leading to our students not attending school either on time every day or not at all? Because it's going to be important that if we truly tackle the chronic absenteeism challenge that we face here in our community, that we have information from our parents sharing with us specifically what their challenges are or what barriers do they find themselves or their children in getting to school on time every day, as well as being in school every day, that will give us good information to then be able to begin addressing the issue. So that survey is currently under development and will be going out within the next 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you very much.
Gwen, am I missing any hands on the screen or anything? Thank you so much. Commissioner Elliott?
Yes, so that's not the issue in terms of when you relate it to the bus situation, Dr. Rosso. The issue is that we don't have the bus drivers that we need, and they get there late. So there are students who need to be in class at 7:30. The bus may not get there to 8:30 and 9. And so what you also have is a performance issue, not a performance issue, but the fact that this child couldn't get into class on time. So the performance may be challenged because they're not in school on time. That's not a parent issue. That's a Rochester City School District systems issue. And so that's what we have to also fix, because what also happens is that now you've got children that have to go to summer school that may not need to go to summer school because we weren't able to provide them with bus transportation on time. So I just want to point out that those are two distinct scenarios there. One, we have to make sure that we have the bus drivers that we need so that our children can get to school on time. And I do know that they use a number of different substitutes because our bus drivers, have to vacation, time off, and what have you. However, there has been that serious issue, and that issue in the beginning. So I would also advise that be looked into as well. Thank you for that. There was another question that I had, but I can't think of it right now.
If I can just address that. So my apologies, I wasn't clear when I was speaking about the survey. The survey is actually going to ask parents to provide us with what are the challenges in 3 areas. What are the challenges and obstacles presented by the school district? What challenges and obstacles might exist in the home? And then what challenges and obstacles might exist in the community? I really want to know from a parent's perspective what they see are challenges that we as a system might be creating so that we can then properly address them. If there's challenges that parents will share about what's going on in the home, it gives us information by which we can then assist and support our parents. And if there are issues or challenges within the community, we can then most certainly work with our community-based partners, potentially the city, to then be able to address those problems or those challenges. It's important that we have an understanding of to and from school and in school, so that we can then properly begin working to address the chronic absenteeism issue. And if it's an issue that we've created or that we own, then at that point in time, it also gives us the information to then be able to prioritize what we need to do in order to remove those barriers so our students can be in school every day.
Thank you. When you come up with the second question, Commissioner Elliott, just put your hand back up and we'll be sure, someone will alert me and we'll make sure you're able to present that. And I'm happy to hear you talk about how this loops into chronic absenteeism as well. Just a really quick question, and it may not be a comprehensive response necessarily, but in regard to the Friday, August 8th deadline, as far as making sure there's changes and updates submitted, sometimes the communication doesn't always get received. Sometimes families have moved or whatever the case is. So points of communication, just high level.
So I know that we're going to be placing information on our social media pages, sort of reminding parents. I believe that the communication office is also going to be sending out robocalls. So one of the things that sometimes doesn't change as often as addresses would be telephone, and we're also going to make sure that we push the information out on our website. We still need to have some conversations around how we might be able to engage our Office of Parent Engagement, the staff members who are there to be able to also encourage parents and to get the information out there in our community.
Awesome, thank you. Any other questions or comments at this time? With none, at this time, that'll conclude this portion of the agenda, and we'll move on into our resolutions. And we'll start again entertaining a motion for resolutions, under academic resolutions, number 3 through 70, I believe it is.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Santiago, seconded by Commissioner Griffin. All in favor, well, let's open it for discussion, excuse me. Resolutions 3 through 70.
You said 1 through 7, right?
You have resolutions 3 through 70. Under academic, under academic resolutions number 9, resolutions 3 through 70 are on the table.
Okay. Just a comment, really, in reference to a lot of these, especially dealing with the summer programs. Do we have anybody here that could give us any updates on the attendance that so far that's been at the schools for the summer programs?
There are a plethora of summer programs that are going on. We can most certainly be prepared either to provide to you, offline or at the next meeting to give updates on attendance, if you would like that.
Yes,
There's a number of summer programs from
it's a lot of them.
programs that we're partnering with a number of institutions on, community-based organization, our own programs. And one of the things I'll sort of say as a highlight to bring kudos to Rochester, while I know that there's more that we need to do, Rochester does provide a great number of programs for our students during the summertime, much more than I've seen even when I was in Buffalo. So that's a kudos to Rochester.
Right. Yeah, I just a shout out to Alicia. Alicia Thomas has done a great job. The last year she did the summer program. My concern more so is making sure that our attendance is not wavering, that we're staying where we need to be as far as funding is concerned, and ensuring that if there's anything that we need to do to increase numbers or to ensure that students are coming to the classes or to the programs are there. But yes, but thank you, Dr. Rouse. I appreciate the comment.
Thank you, Commissioner Griffin. Does any commissioner have a comment regarding the resolutions on the table, resolutions 3 through 70, the specific resolutions? Commissioner Santiago.
Yes, my comment is to Resolution 3, which is a partnership with the police department. I've shared concerns about this in previous years. believing that there's more effective ways for us to prevent violence at our schools and at our sporting events. Yeah, so usually my vote would be a no. Because there's no background plan, I will vote yes for it to pass, but I hope to see in future years for us to have more restorative and community-based ways of violence prevention.
Bless you. Thank you, Commissioner Santiago. And I do know of, and I don't know if this is the case for this particular resolution necessarily, but I do know in the past, I've seen where there's been partnerships where they've even had like students come in and support alongside, and it built some form of relationship. But I do hear your concern as well. Any hands? Clerk one? Okay. With no further discussion regarding resolutions 3 through 70, all in favor of the academic resolutions 3 through 70?
Aye. I'm an aye except for 3. I'm a nay on 3.
Okay. Any other? Yeah, we're not going to take any more questions because we're already on the vote right now.
It's not even a question, a statement. It's something I need to know. But we can go ahead and vote.
Okay. What is your vote, Commissioner?
It had to do with the math and the curriculum for the math.
Microphone.
Oh, sorry, guys. I had to refer to the curriculum and the math. I see that we have some things that are set in stone for the curriculum for the science, and for our reading. I see that there's textbooks that are going to be provided, but I have a question regarding the math, because math is part of our goals, and I want to know how are we working with the math department?
May I ask which resolution you're
It was,
referencing?
I thought I put the sticky on it, because that's chemistry. Hold on one second. That's what I was just looking for. That's why it was, hold on.
And I will say, Commissioner Santiago, while you're finding that, Commissioner Griffin, Commissioner Santiago, I do want to lift what you're saying, because hopefully there are opportunities to find other ways to staff those pieces.
I'm actually going to vote no on this resolution, but my hope is that there's conversations, because this is all the way for September. And so my hope is that between now and August, there's conversations on relooking this partnership with the police department. Right now is very much, the police department is outside of the building, not really interacting with our students. And not saying that we want them to in an enforcement way, but as a person in the community with relationships on that end. So my vote is yes for everything besides resolution 3.
Clerk Nguyen, did you capture that, the shift? Okay,
We have 2 commissioners.
as a no. Were you able to find it at this time, Commissioner Griffin? Okay, we're going to move on. and
I
with
actually
resolution-
wrote it in my thing at home, and then I transitioned.
Did you have a, so with
Okay,
number
here
three-
we go. This is resolution number 8. I think this is 8. Hold on one second. And this is just in general for the math department in itself. I'm just a little concerned about the curriculum with the math department. I see that there's other changes that have been made to chemistry or to science itself. So I'm just
Resolution on that.
want to ensure that we are.
This is this is a resolution for additional pay.
Right, but it has to do with the curriculum with math, and I'm just, as a whole, I'm looking at the curriculum part of it, because we are still giving out money for this curriculum, and the curriculum
Right.
that is being governed is, I want to ensure that this is.
This
something that-
resolution, respectfully, Commissioner Griffin, is about additional pay, but what I will
Yeah,
suggest
I
is
know, but
that,
it has to do with the additional
ha-
pay regarding the
have-
curriculum that's being taught from Rochester City School District. That's what I have a problem with.
so at this time, I'm going to ask that we go ahead and vote on resolutions
You
3
can
through
vote, that's what
70.
you can vote on it.
And resolution 3 has a vote, 2 noes. And so with that, bringing that out, I want to just, Commissioner,
Yay on all of them.
I'm a yay on all of them at this
I'm
time.
a yay.
And Commissioner Griffin is a yay on all of them, and then we just need to get Commissioner Elliott as well.
Elliot is not currently on camera. Oh, I think she's coming on. Hold on.
She's a yay. Okay, so the vote has been recorded for academic resolutions 3 through 70, and you've got the individual calls for resolution 3 specifically. Thank you. We're going to move forward on the agenda at this time. And then we're going to move on to the administrative support resolutions. Entertaining a motion for resolution 71 through 99 at this time. Moved by Vice President Malloy,
Yes.
seconded by Commissioner Griffin. Opening the floor for discussion regarding resolution 71 through 99. With no discussion, all in favor of resolution 71 through 99?
Yay.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I am a yay for all resolutions outside of Resolution 92.
Nay for Resolution 92, Commissioner
Yes.
Santiago? Thank you.
Okay. Resolution 71 through 99. Okay. Moving on to the summer school resolutions. Motion to consider resolutions number 100 through 101.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Santiago, seconded by Vice President Malloy. Open for discussion regarding resolutions 100 and 101.
I have questions.
Commissioner Elliott?
So why are we approving summer school resolutions in August, almost August?
Dr. Rossi, did you want to take that? Because what I'm understanding,
Do that.
and I'll give that to administration at this point, but I do know that our summer school department got off to a late start this year.
May I interject?
That's
Yes,
kind
Clerk
of,
Nguyen, go ahead.
In addition to
yeah, we
that,
tend to do this every year. We shouldn't be off track.
Yeah, it's happened historically, so what were you going to say?
if I can just add that, given the volume of resolutions that you had in June, we asked the administration to move any resolution with a start date after the July 31st meeting to this meeting, just to avoid kind of an overflux that you all have seen in the past. And so this resolution does not start until August 1st, so they agreed to move it off to this meeting. Okay. There were
You
several
want to give a
others.
context on the number of resolutions we had last, there were, how many were there?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Give me a moment, I'll find out for you.
I just wanted like a big thing. It was like over 200 or something, right?
It was definitely over about 125.
Right.
But
And
generally,
so-
it would seem to me that these resolutions, we should be approving these resolutions in May. Not waiting until the summer to approve resolutions.
Yeah, well, that's the bulk, but we're going to change history here, and so we do recognize that there are a lot of opportunities to do that, and we also recognize that the key role for summer school was compromised this year, and it did push some things back, and those are things we could probably talk about offline. But at this time, resolutions 100 through 101, all in favor of those resolutions? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Elliott, I believe you were mouthing no, but I didn't hear you verbalize that. Were you saying nay to 100 and 101?
Yes, no.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving forward to Board of Education legal audit resolutions. These we're going to just do individually. I'd like to entertain a motion for Resolution 102.
So moved?
Moved by Vice President Malloy,
Yes.
seconded by Commissioner Griffin. All in favor of Resolution 102? Aye.
Question.
I'm sorry. Open for discussion. Were there any discussion points here?
I just want to say, and this is just a personal statement, that I don't believe that this policy, I know that this is legislation, but I don't believe that it truly impacts the cause of the issues that we face. I'll be voting in favor, but there's still some discrepancies within the law and the policy that I don't agree with, which is a different way of thought around handling the phones and electronic devices in school.
And that's the beautiful thing, Commissioner Santiago, is we have the opportunity to effectuate change through policy development, and so we can always have an opportunity to revisit and build out things as they come forward. Any other points on Resolution 102? Did we vote in favor, or, yeah?
Didn't vote
Okay,
yet.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 102 carries. I'd like to entertain a motion to withdraw as a new amendment being considered in Resolution 103 at this time.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Griffin,
Second.
second by Vice President Malloy. This is because we need to request an amendment to remove the participation of the parent and student advisors. So let me level set with some dialogue here. Yes.
Almost. So you're asking for a motion to withdraw Resolution 2024-25, number 902. You all had carried this for several meetings, including in your work session. However, based on that discussion, a different amendment needed to come forward for 2300, which would be item C. So for right now, we're just asking that you withdraw the prior resolution that had been out there.
Right, okay. I want to provide the context. So with that resolution to withdraw,
902.
I'm sorry, motion to withdraw 902, excuse me.
So,
Okay, we did all that. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're gonna make it. Okay, hold on, what time? It's 7:55, we're still doing good, guys. Okay, so we're gonna move to Resolution 103 now. And to place what we just did in context, we know the board has been working with CGCS. We saw some communication from them most recently in regard to our parent and student advisors regarding our work sessions. I do want to just share that communication openly. CGCS is, of course, in support, as of, I believe, most commissioners, if not all, are in support of definitely having parent representation as well as student representation in our work sessions. We recognize that we sunset our previous committees that we had, which consisted of parent representatives. We would like to see that continue in our work sessions. CGCS, working with this Board of Education, has recognized that there are some challenges and opportunities that they believe we might want to lean into prior to bringing student or parent representation into these work sessions. To ensure, based on that communication, there is safety and that people can actually bring value to conversation versus having to navigate dynamics that may not be the healthiest that we have to acknowledge. And so they are not saying to not have them. They are saying, let's get some things together and aligned before bringing them in, and maybe we can identify a timeline. But I do want to lift, that was the communication sent to us. And outside of that dynamic piece, and then I'll get off my soapbox, the other piece I would like to, that I think is important to consider is the fact that we are still trying to figure out and get a pulse and rhythm for these work sessions as well. And I think it would be to our advantage to have that kind of leveled out before we bring additional pieces in. That is just my individual thought, but I'd like to open the dais for additional thoughts. Commissioner Griffin, I think you have something? No?
No, not outside the fact that we need to have more meetings ourselves as a unit to address some of these issues. But regarding what you said, I agree with 100%.
Maybe there would be an opportunity to identify a timeline, if that is even the appetite for the board. Vice President Malloy, do you have an opinion either way on that?
no, I'm in full agreement of what you said. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Santiago?
I'm actually fully opposed to waiting on putting our student and our parent representatives on our work sessions. And I know that we have a lot of work to do as a board, but I don't believe that in trade of that we silence and not allow student and parent voice in our work sessions. And so I don't know what this ask is for Resolution 103, but if it is to delay that, I'm not in support. I don't think that we should be silencing our student and parent voices right now, definitely right now more than ever. Seeing that in the work sessions, we will be covering a lot. I don't believe that our parents and our students should not be a part of that. And so we also have federal changes going on, and so it's just not the time to silence our parent and student voice. Not saying that this is silencing them, but it's not including them in our work session, which I think is needed. So I'm not in support of delaying parent and the student representative, and I'll vote accordingly to that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Santiago. Commissioner LeBron, did you have anything? Commissioner Elliott, any thoughts? No, not this time. And I'm glad that you changed the messaging around silencing, because I certainly don't think that's the appetite there, but I think having a healthy space for people to enter into, to have dialogue that makes sense is important. So with that said, I just want to open this up properly. We are on Resolution 103.
President Simmons?
Yes.
While you're looking for that, may I make a little clarity in relation to this
Please.
resolution? So after all of your conversation in the work session, this is the change to your bylaws. That includes the adding of parent and student advisors, but also includes the formalizing, the addition of your speaker forums and some other matters. So I would pose this to the board. If you all are interested in removing the portion about parent and student advisors at work sessions, we would need to make an amendment to this resolution to remove that and then allow you all to continue to vote on the other items that are being amended in 2300.
Well, let me ask you this question, because based on this policy 2300, it's under the parent and student advisors. It says beginning July 1, of course, retroactively. Now, although we may not begin then, and we might want to delay, depending on the appetite of the full board, do we have to remove the language, or can we just change the date? Can we modify the date? Instead of it being July, can we say, hey, by October, or let's get some things together? Because I don't think we should delay indefinitely, of course, but give us a couple months, let us cook, and then.
Either option is available to you. You may just amend the date that they
Yeah.
were eligible to start serving, or you may remove it until a time you decide differently.
I'll be in support of that.
That's always been the plan, to just to delay it, but not remove it, so.
I didn't know that the wording was going to be implemented already. I thought it was like remove the wording, don't even apply it yet. So.
Yeah, so I'm good with that. Do you have, Commissioner Santiago, do you have a thought around like a timeline? For me, I'm thinking by the end of the year, Clerk Wynn, like by December, that gives us a few months to get into the new school year, get our rhythm, and we have a goal. Does anyone else feel that way?
I'll say January. If we're going to do December, we might as well start on
It's going to be
January.
December, it can be January. How about you, Vice President?
I'm in agreement.
Commissioner LeBron? Okay, we have a quorum, so just if we could amend the date to reflect.
So now you need to ask for a motion to amend Resolution 103 to change the date to January 1.
Motion for Resolution 103 to be modified to reflect a date of January 1st, 2026. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Vice President Malloy, Commissioner Santiago, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the date has been amended, and so the next part within the same resolution, Clerk Wynn, is about the board work sessions, and this is the public comment.
Yeah, so
speaking.
now you would ask for a motion to approve Resolution 103 as amended.
Motion to approve Resolution 103 as amended at this
Motion.
time.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Santiago, seconded by Vice President Malloy. And this is the second Tuesday. Okay, wonderful. All in favor? Resolutions, okay, thank you. 103. Aye. Any opposed?
Cynthia vote.
Okay. Motion carries. Did we finish that one?
Yeah.
We made it? Okay. Going between the screen and this paper gets a little cumbersome for me. I got like highlights in one spot. All right, we've made it through these two. Okay, so entertaining a motion for Resolution 104.
Motion.
Second.
Commissioner Santiago, Vice President Malloy. Any dialogue around 104? With no comments, all in favor of Resolution 104?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 104 carries. And finally, entertaining motion for Resolution 105. Moved by Vice President Malloy, seconded by Commissioner Griffin. Any any conversation around 105? With no conversation around 105, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Ivy, I was thinking about it.
With 105, so State Monitor Aliseo, did you have any comments that you'd like to make? Because I do recognize that the academic plan, financial plan is written as recommendations, but it is now voted in, and those recommendations become obligations of the board.
Thank you, President Simmons. Thank you for the opportunity to continue to work with the board and to approve the plan. This is the plan for the 25-26 school year. And by voting on this plan, you're making the commitment to continue to work with me so we can continue to improve education and what is happening in the Rochester City School District. So you're making a commitment to work with me and to make sure that this plan will continue to improve opportunities for all the stakeholders in the district.
Yeah. Thank you, and thank you for your work and guidance on this plan, and we do recognize that includes CGCS. So I've been looking and reading, familiarizing myself so that I'm also holding myself accountable. I know that back on March 2023, March 28th to be exact, we unanimously adopted the CGCS governance model, which is a foundational component. It's in there, and that we do want to avoid any violations. And so we need to continue to move forward, and we have now adopted this plan, which is inclusive of that. So I will not beat a dead horse, but I will move forward with our additional resolutions. At this time, I'd like to motion to waive the requirements of the 48-hour submission rule required in the board bylaws per policy 2300 for resolutions, plural, 106 and 107.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner LeBron, seconded by Commissioner Griffin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So we've waived that, all right. We have the funding of the agreement for the service of the independent monitor, Resolution 106.
Motion.
Entertaining a motion for 106, Commissioner Santiago, seconded Commissioner LeBron. All in favor of 106?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion 106 carries. All right, this brings us to Resolution 107, tentative collective bargaining agreement with the RTA. Resolution 107, motion by Commissioner LeBron, seconded by Vice President Malloy. Open for any comments or discussion, questions? Commissioner LeBron?
I have some comments
Yeah.
Commissioner
about the
LeBron?
contract.
I just want to congratulate our teachers tonight, and hopefully this is a successful second run at this, and just thank them for their hard work and dedication. And I know that this is a challenging year for thousands of individuals across this country, but certainly here in Rochester. And I hope that they're able to just remain hopeful for a brighter future. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Elliott?
But while I do appreciate the efforts of our teachers, you got to come up, you got to step up. We cannot continue to give you, but you don't give us in return. And I am going to support this contract, but you don't allow the kind of academic performance for your children that you allow for the children in this district. And because I'm sort of just tired of it. I've been on this board a long time, and the RTA has always gotten what they wanted, and they've also intimidated people to get what they want. So people have been afraid, and that's history. You gotta step up for our children. And the RTA, when they said back in the 80s that if you gave us more money, you will see an increase in academic performance, there was not the correlation that we've had, and it's been now about 40 years. And so You got to step up. Now, having said that, you also have to have central office to support you. So one doesn't go without the other. But I'm tired of us only having a low 60% graduation rate. Now, it took 20 years for us to get from 39% when I first got on the board to now in the 60s, and it could be in the high 50s. I'm not sure. But that speaks to teaching, and that speaks to our systems. And we have got to change that. And so while you're pushing to have more money, we understand now that money does not mean that we're going to see an increase in academic performance. It does not. We've got the evidence to show that. So there has to be a commitment. I'll say this to Dr. Urbanski. There has to be a commitment that you will work on making sure that the teachers are educating our children and that they're working with the administration. Administration is working with them in the school building as well as in central office to make sure that these kids are getting educated. That's why it's so important. You know, there's a term that's used in there, qualified and certified. And I've said all the time, just because you're certified doesn't mean you're qualified. You could get a certificate anywhere, right? You could get a certificate, but do you have the skills that is necessary to work with the students in our district? And I would argue that many of you do not, or we will see the difference in academic performance. That's got to change. And that's got to change so that we're not seeing our children drop out. To the superintendent's point early in terms of why children are not going to school, there's nothing to keep them in school. There's no kind of programs. There's limited programs, or they don't get assigned a place in those programs where they could be where the students can benefit. We don't promote that well, and that's a problem. We don't have what we, in terms of African history, we don't have that throughout the district. We're talking about a majority Black and brown population who needs to know who they are, where they've come from. And we don't do that in this district. We've got to begin to do more of that so that children will want to come to school. There's a lot of challenges in the community that are keeping our kids from school. And I know it's difficult. Listen, I'm not sitting up here saying that it's easy. It is a difficult role to do. However, if you can't do it, this is not the district for you. It won't be a great fit. We need to make sure that we have people in our district that loves and cares for our children, and they're going to make sure that when they leave the Rochester City School District, that they can go out and compete with anybody in the world. And so to the RTA, I am challenging you to make sure that students, our Black and brown students, and all of our students in this district are educated. This is when the board voted against this contract, that was the first time in decades, back in the 90s, I believe, and even maybe earlier than that, that the board voted against this contract. From my position, I want to be collaborative, and so that's why I voted in favor of it. But we cannot continue going down this route and making these excuses. We can't do it. And so while my vote will be yes on this budget, there's a lot of work that teachers have to do. There are more teachers in this district than now any other population of workers in our district. And you're on the front line. And I do believe that in order for you to do your job, you've got to have the supports. So it's important that the central office, that they are supporting you to make sure that we can increase the academic achievement of our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Elliott. Commissioner Griffin?
I would like to say, I just have to reflect back. I've been a graduate of 1988 Jefferson High School, School of Law and Government. When I went to school, there was 40,000 kids in this district. This district was ran seamless. We are well below that number. But what I have seen since I sat in this seat is a lot of challenges with the policies that are laid out by NISBA, educational law, and by the school board itself. Basically, if we have taken the time and not manipulated the policies that were outlined for the district from the federal level on down, we would not have seen so much churn. We would not have seen so much poor leadership in this community. It is self-evident by the lack by the low graduation rate. Coming out of a district that was strong and positive with all CTE programs aligned, home economics, health classes, business classes, photo classes, swim classes, all these different genres and everything that we had in this community, to be sitting in this seat right now and see what we have is very disappointing. I went to school here. I was raised here. For people to sit in the seat in leadership and lead us down a path of destruction and self-genocide of our children upsets me dearly. So I tell everybody in this community, and it's not just the teacher's fault, it is a fault of everyone involved, at the top to the bottom, that has been put in these seats and put in these positions to govern our children and failed them. So if your children went to a successful school and you're moving from here, you're going working here and going back out to somewhere else, and you have a successful district, our children deserve the same. So I support everybody that supports this district. And show me different, prove me different. There's a lot of beautiful teachers and leadership in this community, and I know there are because I've met a lot of them. But I challenge you to ensure that we can live, our children can live in harmony, that you go when you leave district and go 45 minutes away or 20 minutes away and give back to what we deserve. Because it's a lot of people that are sitting in seats and some people that are teaching our children, and it doesn't seem like they really care, but some of them do care, but they don't have the leadership above that is helping them support them. I'm here to support everyone, but I need you to understand where I came from and the drive that I have for this district and the drive that I have for these children. I mean what I'm saying to you all because I care. I care. And if you care about your kids and you wanted them to have a successful education, doggone it, I want my children to have one too. And they deserve it. You're getting paid to do the job, but you also have to love your job. It's just not for the money. Please, I'm begging you to take this challenge on and do what you need to do and make us feel comfortable about the seat that we're sitting in. It's not about telling you what to do. It's about loving what you do.
Thank you, Commissioner Griffin. Commissioner Santiago?
No, I just want to, say I'll be voting in support of the contract as I did the first time. But also just to really highlight the importance of unity during this time, the importance of understanding the jobs that we all hold. Us as commissioners up here, principals, administrators, and teachers, we hold the most important job in Rochester, New York, and that's fostering and creating the next generation to be successful, to be critical thinkers, to be leaders outside of this district. And so hopefully this contract will pass. I'll be voting in support, but I would love to see stable education for our students, and that's something that we don't see in this district too much, as we see a constant change of superintendents, having to cut down on our footprint required by the state, having to go through reconstructions throughout almost all of our schools because of a project that's been worked on for a long time. And so, one, we want to do this to promote and keep our teachers here and retained, to give our children educated and a stable education. But it's going to be through unity that we'll see this district progress. And we have an important job to do, and we don't have much time to do it. The longer that we wait, every year that we're off track is another year that a child is behind, which affects their adulthood. And so we have to make changes quickly, but we do that through unity, we do that through example, and we do that through supporting the people who support our children. And so to our teachers, thank you for your dedication. We all have work to do. The board has work to do, the superintendent has work to do, our teachers have work to do. We do want to see those results come out better in the upcoming years, but that's done through unity, that's done through support, that's done through taking care of yourself. Same thing with all the commissioners, with all the superintendents, all the administration, and our teachers. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you stand in front of a group of children and take care of them? But it's united that we do this, and it's the most important job in Rochester. And so we support you. We ask that you support our children. and being educated in our children into becoming successful young men, young women, young people, and for this district to be a pipeline of success for our generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Santiago. Vice President Malloy?
Thank you. Tonight's vote on this contract extension represents what is possible when there is honest, open, and collaborative dialogue between the RCSD and the RTA. This agreement is the product of clear communication and mutual respect, and it reflects a shared commitment to doing what's right for both our students and our educators. I'd like to be clear that I always have been and will continue to be a strong advocate for our teachers. My previous no vote was not a rejection of their value, but rather a reflection of my concerns that were rooted in long-term or the long-term well-being of both our staff and our students. And I believed then, as I do now, that our decisions must center on sustainability, retention, and educational outcomes. So with this revised language now before us, I believe we've reached a better position, one that strengthens our ability to retain qualified, passionate teachers and supports the success of every student in this district. So I encourage us all to move forward together with integrity, respect, and a shared focus on the future of this district. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Malloy. I'm going to issue my comments, and I would that as I speak, you know, sometimes I feel like a minister. My father's a pastor, right? And sometimes when pastors are in the pulpit, folks will be like, oh man, the pastor was talking about me, right? Because sometimes people hit home and it's like, you weren't even in my purview, right? But you know, I would just be able to provide my comments as an individual and they be taken as such. Now, I want to move forward because I'm all about progress, and I recognize that service is indeed sacrifice. And when I say service is sacrifice, that means you sacrifice yourself sometimes. Sometimes you sacrifice your ego. Sometimes you sacrifice different things. But one thing I will not sacrifice are the children that I serve. Because I got on this board not to serve adults, but to serve children. One thing I do believe is that we have some excellent teachers, but that's never changed. And even when I voted no, that didn't mean I didn't believe we had excellent teachers. But I do believe there's some progress and some opportunities that we must lean into. This piece I do need to put on record, and you can do with it what you may, but I want to say this, and then I will go into a more forward conversation. But on record, I need to say that at no point did I ever message support on behalf of this board. Did I ever say anybody had the green light, or whatever language was used? Did I ever say that I was even in favor? Because what I want to know is there was a lack of information. There was an understanding that additional conversation needed to occur. That was the understanding. So when June 26 came around, that conversation and that information was not there for us to make a clear, concise decision, and therefore the vote happened as it did. But is anybody out there saying that I gave a green light, I as an individual, commissioner, president, or not, have absolutely no ability to do anything like that? That's not even how that works. But that certainly is not what happened, and I just want to put that on record. And I want to believe that that was a matter of either miscommunication or misunderstanding. I want to go that route with it. But if there was, in any case, something intentionally messaged to mislead, then that's a soul issue and that's beyond me. So with that, moving forward to the matter at hand, because that is where we need to be going, is I need to just stop for a moment because it is so much greater than any of us. And although I still don't think this is like a great, I think I do think our teachers deserve increase, and I do think they deserve opportunity for certain things. I do also believe, I still strongly believe that any type of retention bonus should be tied to strategies. it's not just throwing money at the issue. We can go back to the previous bonus that happened, and I think we saw an influx of teachers leave the district then. Why? Because I have information in front of me to look at that now. Data drives decisions. But I have to also acknowledge and thank Dr. Rosser. I want to thank you, Dr. Rosser, because this decision is not made based on any intimidation or tactics. This decision is based on the fact that you came in and inherited this, and what you presented as an experienced leader was measurement and skill and an approach to identifying a path forward. And you made that emphatically clear. You made that clear through comprehensive conversations with our collective board, creating opportunity and pulling information from the staff and administration here at central office and wherever you needed to get it, including collaboration with the Rochester Teachers Association to ensure we could find a path forward. And I believe that is a demonstration of clear leadership. So thank you for your clarity, the information provided. My vote is yes on this because now we have a better understanding. Now we have opportunity, and I do like that it is part of an extended contract, a successor agreement versus a standalone. So, or extension or what have you, thank you. But lastly, I want to acknowledge your transparency and the lens of integrity that you engaged us with. And that is what has made us comfortable. I went over my 5 minutes, didn't I? I heard that. I'm gonna stop here. But thank you, I had to get it off. And my vote is a yes. And so if we wanna do one last thing, look, Mr. Elijah is jumping right in. And sir, I wanna give you the mic.
This question was just for Commissioner Elliott. I don't know if she's still on the mic or in the camera. Is she? Is she? Okay, so Commissioner Elliott, my name is Elijah Spada. I'm the new student representative for the Board of Education. It is very nice to meet you. Regarding teachers stepping up, I wanted to ask you, do you think teachers stepping up also plays a factor in student retaliation to teachers in their teachings? Or let's say, for example, physical confrontations, verbal confrontations? And also, do you think it's a matter of the lack of materials teachers might have that they have complained about, that I've seen at least, to staff and to higher ups? Do you think that factor also plays in on teachers wanting to step up to be better teachers, or just how do I say this? Just I don't want to say be better teachers, because all teachers are good in their own way. Stepping up the way that the board in the district wants them to. Thank you.
Yeah, there have been a number of issues that I do believe that have prevented teachers and buildings from helping our children to be educated by teachers. But I also think you've got teachers who are not familiar with an urban environment and come into our district not having really studied and really understood the challenges that our students come to school with. And so there has been the notion to quickly suspend, and I'm not saying this about every teacher. There's been the notion to immediately suspend. I remember when I first ran for the school district, for the board, there were 14,000 suspensions of Black boys in middle school. So as opposed to trying to really understand, there was let's just suspend them, or let's just put them in special education, without really understanding who these young men are or who these young girls are. Now, part of that I blame in our own personnel department and our own training. But those are the kinds of issues that we've had within this district since even the 1980s. And when I got on the board, we had a graduation rate of 39%. That's a shame before God. And then they were talking about needing money. Well, we got a lot of money now. What's the issue? So I want to be able to see that if we have We have teachers who love and care for our students. All of what I said in terms of not being familiar with an urban environment, that is going to go out of the window. But we have to have teachers in our district who care about our children and who wants to educate them. Now, on the other hand, as I mentioned earlier, we do have an issue with, I believe, our systems. That could play a part in it. But you can't tell me that over 20 years since I've been on the board, that we're only from a 39% graduation rate to a low 60% graduation. No, no. I still think that there could be some work done within the classrooms that I don't believe that has been done. And that's what we got to work on. And that's what I'm willing to work on. And that's what I'm willing to say as publicly as I can, right? Because I want this to be done right. And I want us to be able to work together on this. We got issues. We don't have those kinds of graduation rates out there in the suburbs. And they got the same issues out there. They just don't report it like they do on our students. So do we have some issues that are going on in the homes with our children, some of them, that may be brought over into our district? Absolutely. But just to say that you got students that are going to just fight teachers just to fight teachers, no, I don't think that's the case per se. And that may be some of that. But I think that we really have to, I think that we all, and teachers who are on the front line, have to make a cognizant decision that we're going to educate these children. It's difficult work. Right? You're a student. You may not be, it may not be where you're causing, issues, or there's some issues that you have with your teachers. That may not be you. You may be doing very well, but we've got some students who we have not, even in elementary school, educated them well so that they can be prepared to go on to graduate from high school. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. Can we get a vote? Can we do the roll call for the vote, please?
At this time, before we do that, Dr. Rosser?
Yeah, I just want to make a very quick comment before the board engages in its vote. The most important person that influences the achievement of our children are our classroom teachers. Let me repeat that. The most important persons that influence the achievement of our children are our teachers. In partnership with Dr. Urbanski, the Rochester City School District, along with the Rochester Teachers Association, had drafted a tentative collective bargaining agreement extension to the current contract for 1 year. This will enable us to engage in negotiations for a full multi-year successor agreement, while at the same time support our students and our teachers. Finalizing this agreement before the start of the school year was essential to providing clarity and consistency for teachers and our school communities. It reflects a shared commitment to honoring the important work of our educators and beginning the year with a unified focus on student success. The extension not only represents a step forward in strengthening support for educators, it also lays the foundation for continued work toward a long-term agreement that promotes academic success and stability in every school community. I want to thank Dr. Urbanski for his conversations, his transparency, us working collaboratively to put this agreement in place. I want to thank the board commissioners for your voice in articulating your concerns with the former agreement and providing me an opportunity to work with Dr. Urbanski to make modifications that reflect our interest in making sure that our children are supported and that the individuals who support our children are equally supported. Thank you.
With that conclusion, I entertain a motion for Resolution 107.
we
We
have
can
an open
do an
motion.
individual call at this time. I'm going to start on the screen with Commissioner Elliott.
Thank you. So that I know that this has been a difficult conversation, but it was necessary for us to have this difficult conversation. And as I said to you, my support is yes for this, but I'm just tired of not seeing the progress we need with our children. And so I do want to move forward and work collaboratively with the RTA as I started to do over the last couple of years or so. But this is difficult. And I'm tired of hearing in the street, what we're not doing in our district. So while I
Commissioner
support
Elliott.
it, let me finish. While I support it,
A Griffin
I
boy, I
want
don't
to,
know.
let me finish.
Go
While I
ahead.
support it,
Go ahead,
while
because
I support it,
we're
while
gonna
I
do something about
support it,
this.
we've got work that we got to do. Thank you very much.
You finished? I'm sorry. Are you all set? Did you say yes, though? You said yes?
Listen, just go, you heard me finish. Just go
Did
on.
you get her vote? Okay, mute her. Okay, Commissioner LeBron. Yes. Commissioner Santiago.
Yes.
Vice President Malloy.
Yes.
You have a yes from me, and Commissioner Griffin. Okay. Okay, okay. So that is the unanimous based on the commissioners that are present this evening. Thank you for the roll call vote. That's what this was at this time. With no further discussion on this matter, we will move into the unfinished business portion of the agenda. And I'm going to turn to Dr. Rosser at this time to provide updates for Oracle.
So commissioners and more importantly, our employees, particularly our 12-month employees who have been adversely impacted by the implementation of this new platform. We're working very hard to make sure that everything related to this new platform will be a benefit to all parties. I've asked the team this afternoon or this evening to provide a high-level update with the Oracle Fusion Rock K-12 program, and I'll turn it over to Chief Miller. And I do need to note that Chief Miller has stepped up in his leadership, serving as the spokesperson for a collaborative effort that spans throughout our organization. There are many individuals.
General Counsel, I'm sorry to interrupt. Do we need to stop the meeting? Are we lacking quorum? We're lacking quorum? No, but there's three of us. We've lost quorum. Anyhow.
I think the superintendent can finish his comment, and then.
We'll pause. We'll pause.
Actually, yes, but I think the superintendent can finish his comments and then maybe like a brief pause.
Okay.
And then we pick up from there.
Okay, we just want to make sure. Thank you.
So,
Me now, too.
as stated, we will be providing a presentation this evening on what we as a school district have been challenged with, and just as importantly, what we have put into place to be able to address those challenges. So once we, I guess, resume, Dr. Miller will then lead in the presentation.
Thank you. So do we need to turn the streaming off until we reconvene? Okay, because, yep, we'll do that if you guys can go to a brief recess. Motion, well, I can't call a motion. We don't have a quorum. Don't do all that. Thank you.
So at this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Miller to walk us through where we're currently at with the Oracle Fusion implementation in the Rochester City School District.
Thank you, Dr. Rosser. Good evening, President Simmons, Vice President Malloy, commissioners, colleagues, and community members. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge the scale of what this transition represents. The prior system had been in place for more than 20 years, and many may not have fully realized how deeply integrated our legacy systems were to the day-to-day functioning of our school district. This has been a monumental shift. On July 1st, we shut off multiple legacy systems, and on July 2nd, we turned on Oracle Cloud. This change touches nearly every aspect of how we support our employees, those on the front lines serving our students. Since the transition, we've continued to hire and onboard staff, assign them to schools, administer benefits, manage financial operations, support instructional systems, and maintain critical technology infrastructure, all within a completely new integrated system. At the same time, we've had to train and support staff across the organization to operate effectively in this new environment. I speak with you this evening not only as the Chief of Human Capital, but as a member of a cross-functional team working together to support our staff and to stabilize our systems. We understand that payroll issues and failings are not just administrative, but they are personal. Compensation affects how people live, plan, and take care of their families. When there are delays or errors, the impact is real and deeply felt. On behalf of all of us involved in this work, I want to sincerely acknowledge the disruption that this has caused and say we are truly sorry. As many of you know, the district is in the midst of a multi-year transition from PeopleSoft to Oracle Cloud, an effort designed to modernize our financial and HR systems with the goal of improving accuracy, automation, and long-term reliability. Like any major systems change, this work has come with significant complexity and growing pains. While payroll operations are led by the Office of Finance and technical implementation by our colleagues in Information Management and Technology, or IM&T, the Office of Human Capital has remained engaged throughout. Our shared focus has been to elevate employee concerns, push for timely solutions, and ensure that staff receive the support that they need. This has been a truly collaborative effort, bringing together our teams from finance, IM&T, human capital, and our labor partners, and our external vendors. And we're united in our commitment to resolve issues quickly and carefully, and to make things right for every single one of our employees who are impacted. I want to acknowledge and thank our colleagues who are here with me this evening to help provide a context and any questions. From the Office of Finance, I'm joined by Derek Blair, our Acting Chief Financial Officer, and representing IM&T, Glenn Vanderwater, our Chief Technology Officer, as well as Vivek Chakravarti, our Supervisor of Technology Services, who is on with us online. Next slide. Together, we are focused on not only resolving immediate issues, but on strengthening our systems and, most importantly, taking care of our people. This evening, I will share a high-level timeline of our Oracle project, the key payroll-related issues we've encountered, the internal and external supports currently in place, our expanded triage and resolution structure, how employees can access help and support, and the next steps and assurances we want to offer to our staff and community. It is important that we make sure that every employee feels heard, respected, and supported. Next slide. So our timeline. We updated our PeopleSoft system last in 2011. We had been working on a system, PeopleSoft, that was outdated. Concerns and limitations were long known and a point of concern with the district's prior financial crises that we experienced in 2018 and 2019. ultimately leading to a strong recommendation and finding by our prior independent monitor, Dr. Jallo, who recommended that we upgrade our systems, which led us to the selection in 2021 of Oracle and the implementation and testing from 2021 through 2025, and with a Oracle go-live date on July 2nd, 2025. There are implementation issues, as I mentioned. Timely pay delivery, for example, these obstacles and challenges with employee time entry and approver submission due to unfamiliarity with the new Oracle system. Despite training being provided, many users are still learning, and we need to do better to support them. There are also some system errors with mislinked position or workflow issues that have delayed some approvals that we are resolving. Summer board resolution compensation processing has been particularly problematic due to record creation, submission, and calculation complexities within Oracle, and we're working to address those as well. Secondly, accurate pay delivery. Errors in pay resulting from incorrect time entry, delayed approvals, or integration issues with position records have caused some of the delays. Instances where Oracle failed to sync position or salary details have also contributed to some miscalculations. Staff receiving correct amounts or incomplete pay in some instances have resulted, and we are working to resolve those with off-cycle checks or other forms to make employees whole. Third, data sharing delays have also been experienced. For example, we need to be able to send data and information to third-party vendors such as Omni. Some challenges have occurred that have impacted processing of 403B and 457 contributions, resulting in some delayed deposits. Last, timely data flow to some of our external partners and organizations is a critical need for improvement that we're working to address right now. And then last, customer service from the Rochester City School District has lagged. Significant backlog of employee support tickets related to payroll exist. The current system doesn't allow employees to well track resolution status, and that has contributed to some of the frustration. Response capacity is limited given the volume and complexity of the issues that we are uncovering. We recognize the need to improve our ticketing process, our communication, and our customer service. To do that, we have implemented some additional supports, and our supports continue to evolve, and we work to be responsive not only to individual employees, but our labor partners in the unions. Supports, as I said, continue to evolve as we work to address every need of our staff to ensure care, speed, and accuracy in addressing and resolving each matter. While we anticipated and had many supports in place, the volume impacted our ability to address each concern in a timely manner. And so, internally, we have added additional temporary customer service staff. We have enhanced and are working to ensure that our staff understands our ticketing and our employee self-service systems. We are providing ongoing training and support that is both on-site and digital. Twice daily, we are engaging in triage calls. We are offering virtual open office hours, and we have an immediate response room that ensures that critical partners across the organization are able to see concerns in real time so that they can be addressed. On the external side of supports, we have, and as a best practice, when you're encountering a transition such as this, the goal and the best practice is to hire consultants to assist with that process. And for us, we have had consultants from Cherry Road, Attain, and Nova Modis who have been partners with us. The intent of hiring these consultants is to avoid the failures that we're experiencing today. We've also partnered with other school districts to learn from them. Next slide. So in terms of triage support, I've already mentioned that our goal is to ensure speed and accuracy of response, to ensure and to bring ticket resolution to concerns that staff are experiencing, to ensure, and our goal is to ensure that all staff with concerns have a first response within 24 hours and a resolution within 48 to 72 hours. We've also increased and ensured higher capacity to on-site manual check printing and offering multiple off-cycle checks to ensure that where we need to, we can print or offer additional ways for staff to be compensated. Lastly, staff supports that are in place or that are under development right now include online step-by-step guides, which staff have access to, training videos, instructor-led training. In August, we will be adding small group guided practice for our employees who start in September to ensure that they can receive support and get help in small groups or one-on-one before they return to work in September. Within Oracle, there is guided learning. We will be continuing to send staff to our schools before the opening of school to ensure that multiple staff are present at each school and work site so that when our 10-month staff return, they have additional and varied ways to receive support. We also have walk-in service through the payroll office, and we've redeployed or provided support to ensure that our payroll team has additional assistance with members of IM&T and the Office of Human Capital supporting the Office of Payroll. In addition to that, when we've needed to, we've had an all-hands-on-deck support, and we want to thank our executive assistants and other members of central office who helped us with processing additional timesheets. That ensured that we could move volume of data and information through the system. In terms of next steps, we are escalating issues to Oracle and within Oracle to ensure that we have resolution and that the system is functioning as intended, as planned, and as tested. We are strengthening and adding additional opportunities to ensure that our staff receive varied and multimodal ways to receive training and support with a particular focus on enhancing what we do so that when our 10-month staff returns in September, they are able to benefit from the lessons we've learned. We thank you for this opportunity to provide an update this evening. In closing, I want to reaffirm our full commitment to getting this right. We know that compensation is personal, and it matters deeply to every employee and their family. We are grateful to our union partners for their advocacy, to our finance colleagues who have worked around the clock, and including staff in IM&T and the Office of Human Capital, and to our staff for their patience and their professional in the face of these challenges, obstacles, and failings. We are approaching this with urgency, care, and accountability. We are implementing real-time triage and increasing system supports, and we are committed to transparent communication, full resolution for every employee. We thank you for your time.
Okay, so I'm going to open up for comments or questions. My first question is that do all staff members that are currently impacted or affected potentially or in real time, do they know who to go to, where to go? Does everybody know who to talk to?
At this point in time, I would venture to say no. We are working on a communication strategy to be able to reach all staff members. In our conversations earlier with the Bente leadership, we discussed the challenges of some of our Bente workers with not necessarily having access to their school emails. So we're working on a strategy collaboratively as to how we can get essential communication to them so that they know who's on the first, who's on second, and where they can seek support.
Okay, because, you know, I went into the world of work and I thought about the reality. And I'm happy to hear you acknowledge that this is deeply personal right? Because even like listening to this report, if I were to pull from a personal lens, I can't pay my car insurance. My rent is due. It's been behind, and now I haven't gotten a check for this. You know, these are some scenarios that people are grappling with. So although we thank them for their patience, they don't really necessarily have it. I was a little concerned about a comment I heard, and I'll take that offline to validate that, because I'm hoping that when people are met with the opportunity to address and get this rectified, that they are humanized and not feeling like they are on guard. Because I get it, because my voice probably would go up a few octaves, and my bass might show up in my voice because I'm upset, because I'm stressed and I need to feed my child. Whatever may be the impact people are feeling, we don't want to tone police people. We're not going to tolerate disrespect, even though, I don't know, right? But people can speak with conviction, and so I just want to make sure that they are humanized and that we are finding a solution very, very quickly. And, you know, I recognize this is inherited. This was voted on way back in, what, 2021, 23, whatever this was, and it's been going down the road, and here we are. And I know that the outgoing administration was really trying to push this forward and make it happen. And so here we are holding this, but whew, we got to get our folks paid.
Definitely
we gotta
agree
get
with
them
that.
paid.
Yep.
I'm going to get off my soapbox, and I want to open up the dais. Commissioner Griffin.
I just want to actually reaffirm with what President Simmons is saying. I can't imagine what is going on, but I guess my question is, can we have something put in place where they're just continuously getting the paper checks or something of that nature until we are able to rectify the problem, so we don't have to go through every pay period of of our staff not being paid? Is that a simple, like a little small resolution to do the paper checks is in-house until we get this?
Yeah, right now, we don't have the capacity to do paper checks in-house. We are working on a potential solution to that. However, what we have instituted is a ongoing off-cycle
Okay.
pay run. So
Okay.
in the event that we understand that someone has been impacted adversely, we resolve it. We then will engage in compensating them in an off-cycle pay run.
Okay, all right. So this is, maybe we don't know this question, maybe we do. We should though. Do we now have a count on everyone impacted by this?
For those individuals who have brought things to our attention, most certainly.
So there may be some out there that just don't check their paychecks.
Right. So we are prepared to be able to address their needs once it is brought to our attention.
Okay. And the last question would be though, is all of their retirements and all that stuff being taken out, and then the check is, you're able to administer the checks, or is that impacted as well?
Can you clarify the question?
Well, when you have a check, you have things taken out of your check, your payroll check. So are we able to navigate those waters and then give the check minus the things that they have already taken out for different things? Or are we just giving the paycheck as a whole without the minus the insurances and all of those things? Does that make sense?
It does, but I don't know if I have the answer to that
Okay.
question.
I was just curious.
What we are doing is we are making sure that those who have been adversely impacted
Okay.
are made whole.
Okay, all right.
And what I'll share too is that, I didn't open up by stating that it has impacted our Bente employees, but I will stand and raise my hand and simply say that even I have been impacted, and I know that several of the chiefs have been impacted as well. So this is not, a system that is segregating, and it is impacting all the above.
Thank you, Dr. Esser.
Thank you, Commissioner Griffin. And although not segregating, and not that folks with a higher salary don't feel the impact because you never know what anyone's dealing with. I'm definitely feeling for folks that aren't earning on par with others because they may be feeling that a lot more in a different way. Vice President Malloy?
Yeah, definitely empathizing with a lot of our employees and just feeling for them during this difficult transition time. And hopefully it gets resolved as expeditiously as possible.
We're working on it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Santiago, did you have questions or comment? Not at this time. Okay, with no further discussion, did I miss any hands?
Gotta look at the
Commissioner
screen.
Elliott.
I've been texting Rahima, and she said you did not have a hand, and so I was deferring to her just now, and she says you have a hand, so now I'm going to call on you, Commissioner Elliott.
Chris, how much, or Superintendent, how much additional money is this costing us?
Right now, we have not entered into any additional contracts beyond what was discussed with the board prior to me coming on board. We're trying to identify solutions that are cost neutral. However, depending upon how this all rolls out, I may be coming to the board with a recommendation to be able to resolve this issue, given the fact that it's impacting those who are supporting our children. But at this point in time, the additional supports that we put into place are cost neutral.
How much is it that we spent? This started off as a $7 million project. What's the total amount that we've spent to date?
Yeah, my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief Miller, it's $44 million that this project has cost us to date.
So this is the kind of scenario that people are not being concerned about the taxpayer dollars.
Oh, I am. Best believe
let
I
me
am.
finish,
but yeah.
please.
Okay,
Let me
I'm sorry.
finish. Let me
I'm
finish.
sorry.
We're not concerned about, it just appears that we're not concerned about from 7 million to 44 million, if that's what I heard you say, that again, we've just got this money and we just got this money to spend. And that is a black eye for us, for our taxpayers, that we've got to, which says that we don't know how to take care of the taxpayers' dollars. From a $7 million project to a 42 or 44 million, that's just embarrassing. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Miller, I'm not sure Dr. Rosser or somebody has the historical context, because my understanding is the Oracle Fusion, this platform came to be around 2010.
Right.
Well, it's 2025. This is 15 years in the making.
Nobody was on this board
No.
then.
I have the mic right now, please. 15 years in the making. Several contracts. If you go back in board docs, you see the different iterations of the board that were present that voted to bring in additional contracts, just $2.5 million contracts, $19 million here. I mean, I would have to agree with Commissioner Elliott, just throwing money at something and kicking the can down the road, changing operators of this system. And here we are, to her point, $46 million later after 15 years. And now this is a new iteration of the board, so it becomes this iteration of the board has to now deal with it. So I'm going to adopt Dr. Rosser's language, finding a path forward. And I know that you cannot predict, and unfortunately we have inherited these decisions that have been made historically, but we've got to find this path forward and rectify it for our employees. And I guess I'm hoping that the more I say it, it'll actually happen. But me just saying isn't gonna actually change it. Now is it?
We are working through each of the issues, and there have been several issues that were big issues that have already been resolved. And so we are escalating matters, getting additional help, putting additional attention, and providing more support to ensure that our customer service needs can be addressed.
Yeah.
And just as a point of clarity, it was never $7 million that the project started out. The project started out as a $12 million contract plus $2 million in additional support. So it was never $7 million.
That's
It
good
did,
to know.
it did, and I will agree that the cost for this has skyrocketed over the last several years, and we must do better, and we will do better.
I believe that. Well, I don't know if there's anything else we can resolve tonight, but I think it was important to have the conversation. With the loss of quorum, we've lost 2 commissioners this evening, so that puts us in a position where we have to end the board business meeting at this time. And so I don't even need to really call for it. Do we just end the meeting at this time, General Counsel? Okay, so we're going to conclude it due to loss of quorum, and we will conclude with our business items at our next available session. Clerk, when is that, August?
August 12th.
August 12th. We'll conclude with some of those board items at that time. Thank you.